touching on the top prop bets in the NBA today. Just real quick, a recap from last week. Looking at the last 3 videos that I gave you guys, 11 out of the 12 top bets of the day or today's bets hit. The only one that was under was Keenan Allen, 6.5. Got 6 receptions. We all saw the 3 tip passes. That one was bittersweet there, but we can see really successful stuff last week with the videos. And then also I put this out there as well. Pretty much the course for the PGA on Sunday was playing a lot easier than PrizePicks expected it to. And so there were some bets stroke-wise that we had to hammer. And so majority of these bets also hit as well. And now because I couldn't do a video on Sunday, I ended up posting this on the Discord chat. This will actually be something going forward that I will also post on the 9 to 5 website. Okay, and I'll put that in the comment section of this video about a half an hour after this is posted. All of these hit as well. So honestly, it's been a fun run, and that's kind of why I'm showing you guys that. I don't really like to do the whole green screen thing. I feel like that sets some sort of bad expectation, and people might make bets that they shouldn't. Okay, but it has been a fun run. That tells us that the process that we have been on has been correct, and so hopefully that will go well today as well. Obviously, doing that well, guys, it's due to regress. Okay, what was it, like literally one bet missed over the past 4 days for like the top bets? That is due to regress. I just want you guys to know that. I wouldn't be shocked if we go over today. Like, that's just how it works, but we know that we're on the correct process, so hopefully you guys been able to take advantage of that. But we'll get into today's picks. So looking at it, we got Boston versus Charlotte, and this is going to be a very interesting game right out the bat. Looking at the over and under odds here, it is a game that could potentially blow out. 231.5. Okay, and these are 2 teams that did meet last game. And so my top bet from Friday, I believe it was Friday, was Marcus Smart over assists. Okay, and obviously this game was a game that was a blowout as well. So the interesting thing, looking at PrizePicks, especially for Marcus Smart, it's set at 8 assists. Okay, but I want to point this out. DK Sportsbook does not think he's going to get the over by a pretty good margin there. So basically, they're saying that the over has a 49% chance of hitting. Obviously, those are not good odds. We want to be on the plus side. But what I find interesting here, and this is where you might be able to just bet it on DK Sportsbook, is one, the matchup. He's already done that. You're looking at Jaylen Brown being out. When he is out, Marcus Smart averages 9.2 assists per 36. And so I guess the thought process would be that this game could be a blowout again and he won't get those minutes. I just find this very interesting. This kind of seems like a spot in which maybe you attack DK Sportsbook wise, just because those odds are strange to me. You know, it's not really matching up with the expectations for today. At the same time, this would be a bet that I don't really mind, is points, rebounds, and assists for Marcus Smart. We can see he's been close to over that or over that for all the last 5 games. And given the matchup with Charlotte, this is a matchup in which I think he would be able to get over. Obviously, if this game is more of a blowout, that would mean players like Smart are the players that are going off. Given the matchup, I like it. It should be one that hits. That'd be the way that I would attack Marcus Smart today. So the next one I'm going to be looking at is going to be Al Horford over rebounds. Okay, and this one could be close, but at the same time, it should be one that hits. Like, more times than not, it's going to be one that hits. And it's kind of one of my favorite ones on the day, at least right now. 6.5 over rebounds. Last game he had 7, which obviously didn't get the over by much, but really we're trying to find those small, like, slight edges, and this seems to be one of those. And we know the biggest thing with Al Horford is really just getting the minutes. As long as the minutes are there, he should be productive enough to get the over rebound. And we can see the last 3 games, he has gone over 30 minutes, and their next game is on Thursday. So I would assume that he is still going to get that full allotment of minutes as long as the game doesn't blow out too fast. And so to me, that gives me a strong chance that we're going to get the over rebounds here. And looking at it as well, Vegas thinks that as well. Minus 135 for him to get the over rebound. So that is obviously in our favor as well. We can already see there could be potential for a game stack here as well. And now just kind of flying through some of the rest of the players in this game. Tatum, you could bet the over. You know, I don't mind it. It probably would stay away from it. Ball, you could kind of do the same thing. Like, these would all be decent bets for points. Mostly bets that you would make in a game stack is pretty much what you'd be doing there. I don't really like Derek White. I'm wondering if we're going to get any Malcolm Brogdon props. I'd probably want to attack those more so. But there is another bet that I do like for Charlotte. So with the game being as high scoring as it's projected to be, you do see a path in which LaMelo Ball could get the over of 5.5 rebounds. This was something that he was able to do in the last game against Boston. And this is something that he's slightly favored to do as well. I would only use this in a game stack. If you are trying to do a bigger bet, that would be a way in which I would do that. Obviously, the more you throw in there, the less likely a bet is to hit. But this is a stack that you could run out if you choose to do so. And that's going to be kind of it for that Charlotte versus Boston game to start off the day. Let's go ahead and get into some other bets that I like. Now, another bet that I like is going to be CJ McCollum over 24.5 points. This on paper should be a pretty strong bet, especially in terms of stacking. These first two games, the first two segments of this video are going to be situations in which there are really good correlation between the stacks. And I would say this stack that I'm going to give you guys here is a much better stack than the first one. The first one's just a way to attack the first game of the day, just kind of a way to get our feet wet for the day. This would be a much more likely bet to hit. CJ McCollum over 24.5 points. And looking at like not favored by much. Okay, that's a big thing I want to point out. Not favored by much. But you're going to see with the next bets that I give you guys, it's going to make more logical sense. Now, they are saying that J-Val is going to struggle today. And so if he does, that's where I like this bet. Because if we do the under for J-Val and the over for CJ McCollum, that kind of correlates. And especially with how the game's kind of projected to play, it's a game in which, one, is going to be kind of low scoring, so that's why you'd want to bet the under on J-Val, but it is a game in which could be close, okay? Not like it is blowout risk potential, but at the same time, it should stay close enough for the players that we want to be on to still get their production, to still get their point. So with that, and you could run these out either way, is that you could bet Mobley under 14.5 points, because once again, that's supposed to be the highest scoring game. And just looking at that's kind of what they're projecting to do, is that he's going to get the under points. And obviously, if he gets the under points, then that would favor Jared Allen getting the over points, which is currently kind of how they have it looking odds wise. So that's how we can take advantage of this. We would bet the under for Mobley, and then we would bet the over for Jared Allen. And we can see Jared Allen kind of been right around there the last few games as well. So this is how that stack would be looking. Obviously, it does have some correlation there. Once again, more or less just a stack that you can make to get some attention to the game. It is fun to watch a game with some interest. That's kind of how I see these first two ones. That's kind of how I see these stacks. Obviously, if it's a stack, especially the more players in there, the more you're reducing your odds. Okay. Now we're going to get into some one-off bets that I decently like. And then I'll show you guys my NBA bets plus some NFL and NHL bets that I like as well. Now, this bet I will say is a very interesting one, okay? Because the last two times out against Toronto, Randall has gone the over. Okay, the last game was literally just like 11 days ago, went for 32 against them, so easily got the over there. And then 12-21 had 30 points and got the over there. The thing with it is RJ Barrett is currently back. So with RJ Barrett back, we do see the usage and the production go down for Julius Randle. Okay, the points per game drop slightly. Like it's 23, I think, 23.8 per 36 with RJ Barrett on the court. We can see he's been over that for the season, and we can see he's been really on quite a tear, okay? So that's where I don't feel perfectly comfortable with it. But at the same time, like minus 140, those are very good odds that he is not going to get the over. So at minus 140, they're basically giving him an 80% chance that the under there. And honestly, guys, this is another situation in which if you disagree with this, go on DK Sportsbook and bet the over there. That's another way to take advantage of this video and also these picks. And so for me, if I were going to be attacking the early games and NBA thus far, these would be the bets I'm looking at. But we can go ahead and find some better bets for the day. So let's go ahead and get into those. So this is a bet that I don't particularly love, but at the same time, it is a low number. So my kind of thought process here is that with it being the playoffs, they might trust Leonard Fournette a little bit more than White. And so it shouldn't take that much for Fournette to be able to get the over rushing yards. If that is what happens, that's much more of you could bet Leonard Fournette over and Rashad White under. That's the situation you can do. Not a bet that I love, but that's really the only NHL or NFL bet that stood out. Let's go ahead and get into some NHL bets. So you guys kind of know my thoughts on betting the unders. I don't really like it, but Vegas is giving us a minus 140 chance that the under hits here. Those are good odds, okay? So, we can already kind of see 3 out of the last 5 games he's been under this as well. And it does seem like if he goes over, he's going to smash it. So currently betting the under there. And once again, I don't really love betting the unders, but that's kind of how this day is looking. So here's the over that I do like. Dylan Larkin over 2.5 shots on goal. Okay, we can see he's been able to do that the last 4 games, which is encouraging. The odds to do this are set at -140. So he has about a 58% chance to hit the over here. And you guys know I like betting the overs more than I do the unders. So this would probably be my favorite bet thus far. And then another one that we're going to be looking for the under for shots on goal. Once again, another one that I don't really like. It's valued at -135. Once again, pretty good odds for him to get the under here. And then a bet that really hit yesterday was the over here, 2.5. Okay, which is also favored at -140. So very good odds there from those two. So these are the bets that I like for NHL specifically. So let's go ahead and give you guys kind of my bet of the day. So I already like these ones. Okay, like these are solid bets. Let's just try to trim it down to get it to a more safe approach. Okay, like really you can mix and match these guys, do one bet with each of these players and just hope that they hit more than 33% of the time so that you can hit a profit. So like I don't really like the Julius Randle one. I'm going to take a bet on Marcus Smart being able to hit the over here because I feel like points, rebounds, and assists, he should be able to get to over 12.5. That's for you guys to decide. I will say my original thought process this morning was going to be to do a Al Horford potentially over rebounds or over points really. And right now, as it sits, I just feel more comfortable with Marcus Smart. But honestly, if I was just doing no NBA bets, I'd probably just do the 2 NHL guys. Okay, so that's all I have for you guys for this video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. If you did, you know what to do. Give a like and subscribe. That helps me continue to put more content out for you guys. All right, let's have a good PrizePicks day. Hopefully you guys can cash. And as always, let's keep cashing.